Okay, today we're going to talk about a small word called class. I think class is a word that a lot of people really don't truly understand or accept. In order to understand class, we got to start going to class, looking into it, look into the classroom. I say that to say because I know a large group of people that portray themselves as being, financially stable, comfortable, settled, and I'm really trying to understand how is that possible. You know, my whole understanding is like what happens if you die today. So you're saying that you have enough money to take care of your immediate family, at least when you die. At that very second, that very moment. You're comfortable. I see a lot of people doing a lot of spending, a lot of a lot of ignorant spending or a lot of careless spending because they honestly feel like they got money. And I put that on the perception that the world has painted on this HD screen picture. I think people watch too much damn TV. So in the average person's mind, if they could pull out a knot of money, they can pull out $1,000, a whole bunch of singles, fives, tens, some dubs, couple 50s, some hundreds, even if it was all hundreds. Just me personally, and I believe anybody that truly understands what money really is and what true wealth really is, a person that really has money, the money that they truly have, it would be impossible to fit inside of one pocket and carry it around. It's impossible. I don't have enough room. So what happens is the green dollars stroke the ego of the person holding the fiat. So it's like because it's actually a mental issue that's actually limiting their financial growth because they feel like they have to hoard the money on them. You know what I'm saying? Physically on them. That dirty, filthy money. I don't want to have nothing to do with it. Touch it, I say, pass it on, give it on, put over there, put over there. You know what I'm saying? That stuff it's like manure. It's meant to be spread out. If you keep it in one place, it's gonna just be a big pile of shh. You know what? So it's never meant for you to keep a pile of money in one little spot. You got to spread that stuff out. That's called investments. Got to spread that stuff out. The people that really have the money don't really talk about it. Are very modest, very strategic, are very cautious and calculated with their spendings. What goes out, the second it goes out, the next second after, we already premeditating on how it's coming back. true people that have money, that at least understand the value of money and the value of riches and wealth and stuff like that, they know that means nothing. That means absolutely nothing, because guess what? The majority of these people can't afford a bad night. A bad night is when the unexpected happens. When reality checks in. So let's go down to let's check the stats on this. So the average U.S. checking account balance as of 2019. The first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna break it down by what is this right here? Let's do by income. Or should we just go down? No, let's do income. Okay, so by income, the average checking account balance by income amongst households with one or more checking accounts. Higher household incomes are associated with the higher balances. So what they're saying is that these numbers are actually statistically higher than the actual reality of the mass majority, due to the fact of the small percentage of people within this category of this. This is the middle class. All this is referred to the middle class. So this is related to the small percentage of individuals within this middle class that actually have a respectable amount of savings or earnings or average balances in their checking accounts on a month-to-month and yearly basis. So they're pretty much balancing out the averages. So income range, so under 25,000, under $25,000 a year, the average balance is $2,018. Between 25,000 and 44,000, $4,000. 45,000 to 69,000, $6,492. And you see the list goes on. Now, even at the 70,000, even the person making the six figures, 100,000, the average account balance still only is holding under $10,000. So they still are not saving. They're still saving less than 10% of their income. So that means at least 92% of their earnings are still going out the window, which still put them in a position to still live in check to check. $115,000 to $159,000 still is at $12,000. In 2013, it was $11,000. Let me see here. Okay, by age. Under 35, average balance $4,013. That's actually pretty high. 35 to 44, 9,593. Okay, so let me explain this to y'all. So this second number right here, this is actually the actual average outside of the being compiled with the small percentage of individuals inside the class that hold a lot of the weight. All right. So that means from 35 to 44, still the average account balance is $6,298 based on the age. And we're talking about the household. we talk about the household. Under 35, $1,400. 35 years to 44, $2,200. Look at this. By gender, household gender, they're still comparing it to household. So this is not, it's individualized, but it's still comparing as a household as a whole. So this is a household average. So this is like if your household holds, okay, a small family household is going to hold usually 2 adults, one kid, 2 kid, or whatever. So this is the average household of 2 adults minimum. Now they say the female average. Remember the median is different than the actual average. So this is in collective with the individuals that hold a large portion of the pot, but the actual average is $3,658 and then $11,182 for the males. Honestly speaking, I'm shocked to see that, because the way I see it, it appears that the female would actually have a higher average account balance these days, and this is still going up to 2016. But I mean, what they're saying is that, I mean, they keep the numbers. This is census. These are the ones calculating everybody's stuff based on their social. So they saying the male still has the most income saved. So now we have by race: Black, 2,500; Hispanic, 2,730; non-Hispanic, 10,000; other, 12,000. So now this is breaking things down to race. Oh, now that make more sense. That makes this number make more sense as far as the gender, right? I'll let y'all sleep on that one, because it just gave us our answer on why the male gender average account balance is 3 times the amount of the females. Black, 2,500 average account balance. Household, as a household. Hispanic, 27. White non-Hispanic, 10,000. Other, whoever the hell that is, 12,000. This is an average. So I'm trying to figure out, what the hell are we doing with our money? Like, what are we doing with our money? What are we doing with our money? Oh, let me guess. We're spending. We're more spenders than consumers. We do more consumption than producing. That's what consumer mindsets. A person with a consumer mindset and just a worker, they go to work. First of all, they go to work not realizing, as a W-2 employee, volunteering to pay taxes up front, you're working the first 3 to 4 months free of charge. I say free of charge because the amount of tax that's being taken out throughout the year, if you calculate that and minus that from your actual month-to-month income, you'll see you're actually working the first 3 months free. At least three months, up to 4 months for free. Then, after you finally get your check, you're immediately spending. As soon as the money hits your hand, it's like a currency exchange. You get the check, you cash it, you then get taxed from cashing it, and then when you cash it, you pay Pay this bill, that bill, that bill, that bill, this bill, dude. All these dues are owed. And since you work so damn hard, you know, your mind's like, shoot, I work hard, blah, blah, I deserve to have this, I deserve to have that. So you're going to spend more because of what you think you deserve based on the labor that your time you putting in to something outside of yourself. It makes sense, right? Only on a moral level, though, or emotional level. But as far as a financial level, that doesn't make sense. Because you're putting yourself in a position to always have to report back for duty. You're not working your way out of a 9-to-5. You work yourself deeper and deeper into being liable to the 9-to-5 job. Because you don't know how to leverage the income and live beneath your means. Or I'm not the type of person that goes without per se to say that you just, you know what I'm saying? It's all about having a producer mindset instead of the consumer mindset. The consumer mindset is the type of person that goes to the store, that works 40, 50, 60 hours a week, gets the check, cashes it, pays the bills, and then goes to the store and pays the market value, the market price for a product or for a service, without even trying to conduct any type of analytical research to try to find the lowest cost or the best bargain for their buck. So because you chose not to put in a little extra time doing your own due diligence to save money and at the same time acquiring the things that you want to acquire, guess what? That's going to cost you. Everything in this world is going to cost you. It's either going to cost you a little or it's going to cost you a lot, but it's going to cost you. So if you're intelligent financially, you'll acquire resources that have the things that you desire for a wholesale price, which allows you to get the things that you actually want for the cost that is actually worth. And then so now you have extra money on the side, or the amount of money you should have left over anyway. And now you can pay yourself. Because the first person need to be getting paid is you, but we don't get paid in the traditional 9-to-5 consumer lifestyle. We just work and receive a check, but you don't pay yourself. When I say pay yourself, that means that it's a certain percent of that money, at least 10% of that money needs to be going at least in the shoebox. It's not a savings account or a bank account or a brokerage account or whatever account. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully an account that gains some type of interest in some way, form, or fashion. Money sitting up in the shoebox is just going to be money in the shoebox every time you open it. It's not going to require not a cent more. So it's all about, if you're going to work, put in the time to gain the income, it's even more mandatory you transfer that money to something that's going to give you a decent return or some sort of return, where that money is going to repopulate itself. You know, this is the reason why you can have somebody that's working $10 an hour and $20 an hour, and they still be in the same boat. You work $10 an hour, you're gonna buy what you're gonna buy and settle what you can afford, and be happy with it. Start making $20 an hour with the same mind frame. All you're gonna do is make more money on a piece of, as it reflects on a piece of paper, and they're gonna, and the same effect, if you making more money, taxation and inflation, due to taxation and inflation, they're gonna take more money. So it still balances back down to, you're not making that much more as far as seeing it in your hands. So since you see a higher number on your check, It appears to you that you're making more money and you can afford to spend more money. So that's what you do. So you spend more money outside and over your means, but you got to make sure you take your ass right back to work that Monday morning and start making up for it because all the money's gone. There's no way we should be exhausting. You should be exhausting every dollar you get. That don't even make sense. Most people don't even have money up, $1,000 up for emergencies. That's a fact. And the majority of people try to act like they do, and they're effing liars. Most people can't afford a $1,000 hiccup. Nobody likes it, but it's good to be able to have it. Most people don't even have it, but these are the same people that be comfortable. That's what kind of trips me out. You comfortable, but you can't even afford a $1,000 hiccup. That's a typical cause for an incidental, especially if you acquire liabilities like cars, and if you're not using your vehicle for business purposes to at least make some money, that's a double liability. It's not even a mutual type of, partial asset, partial liability type of deal. So, then we wait till the end of the year to get this check. It's tax time. Get your check in February, be gone by May, if that. Because just like being a crackhead, you gotta hit it. You gotta hit that. You gotta hit that account. You gotta hurry up and spend it because you're not used to having a certain amount of money just there. It's like you have to find all of a sudden, all of these things appear in your mind of things that, I gotta get this, I gotta get that. Oh, I need this, I gotta get that. And then we spend the money because we base the spending we try to justify the spending based on what we're gonna get next week or what we're gonna get. And then some people try to be halfway smart, like, I just put that in, I just get that. And their whole intention is I'm gonna spend it now because of what I'm promised later. Absolute wrong way to handle money. Nothing in this universe is promised or guaranteed. Absolutely. So the first thing we got to know and identify and accept and acknowledge and be aware of is what effing class are you in? Know it, see it, eat it, accept it. Because you have to know where you stand to know where you have to go. If you are when it boils down to it, after you do your analytical breakdown, and you realize you're actually in a low class, because this right here is the middle class. This is the middle class. So if you after the whole breakdown analysis, you realize you're in a low class, you need to own up to it, accept it, and do what you got to do to get the hell up out of there. Because stop thinking that you have money. You don't have any money. You got to understand that you're fucking broke, and you got to do what you got to do to get up out of there. Or you're going to keep repeating the same cycle over and over again, and you're going to keep giving birth to a broke society, broke babies, and a broke generation. And it's going to be nobody's fault but yours. It's your fault if we keep on repeating the same cycle and giving birth to kids that repeat the same cycle because they don't know any better outside of what we didn't taught them because we didn't teach them shit. So let's start walking around here playing like we got bands and on top of bands out here because y'all don't got no money.